Good evening, Tom Sox fans and baseball fans everywhere. Welcome to Crutchfield Park at Charlottesville High School here in hot, steamy Charlottesville, Virginia. Tonight we've got a rematch of last night's games between the first-place Tom Sox, who come into this game at 14-6, with division rival Harrisonburg Turks, who are 10-9 on the season so far. As I mentioned, this is a game that is a rematch of last night. The Turks looking for a little revenge after a home loss to the Tom Sox last night. My buddy Zach was there last night. Can you tell us how's this going to go down tonight, Zach?
Yeah, so last night the Tom Sox got off to a quick start. After going 1-2-3 in the first inning, they put up a 5 spot in the second and then 2 more in the third inning. So really jumping on the Turks early and then using some up and down pitching and solid defense to work their way to an 8-4 victory.
And that seems to be kind of the key for the Tom Sox on the season so far, is just jumping on the opponents offensively at the start of the game and then settling in with some great pitching, great defense for the most part this season. Our probable starters for tonight, taking the mound right now for the Charlottesville Tom Sox, right-handed pitcher Jacob Haney out of William and Mary, Barbersville boy. He's on the season so far with a record of 1-0. I'm sorry, correct? No record, but 0 ERA. Jacob Haney, 11 innings pitched so far this year, has yet to give up an earned run.
Yeah, he's been one of the more solid, if not the most solid pitcher for the Tom Sox throughout the entire season. As you mentioned, the 0 ERA through his 3 outings so far, 3 starts. So one of the consistent 5 in Coach Kohler's rotation, which he said he feels like he's really found his starting 5. So Jacob Haney, coming from a baseball family, too. His dad played 13 years in the big league. His grandfather worked in the big leagues for 44 years, and his great-uncle also played for the Yankees for 8 years. So baseball runs in the Haney blood, and he's been showing that so far with the Tom Sox.
The lineup that he'll face tonight for the Harrisonburg Turks looks like this. Carlos Marte, the second baseman, number 14, will lead off. He'll be followed by the shortstop, Clay Lockett, number 1. Number 18, Michael Rosario, will play left field and bat third. The cleanup hitter, the DH, Logan McNeely, number 31. Number 5, Conor Hartigan, will play right field and bat fifth. Batting 6th, Jordan Sweeney, number 32. He's the first baseman. The catcher batting 7th tonight, number 25, Austin Mueller. Number 7, batting 8th, Derek Crum, the center fielder. At third base, batting 9th, Fred Walter, number 3. We're setting the defense for you for the Tom Sox tonight. Around the infield, it'll be Ebel at third, Guidry at short, Cole Foster at second, Cal Stark, the first baseman. The outfielders left to right, Logan Amiss, Trevor Candelaria, and Garrett Spikes will be in right field. Wyatt Langford is the catcher, and he will be catching Jacob Haney tonight.
Yeah, so last night, Cal Stark got the offense going for the Tom Sox with a home run in the bottom of the second inning, solo shot to left field. So we will see if the Tom Sox can rekindle that same early offense that they had last night.
So we are just about ready to go here. As I mentioned, it is a hot one tonight. As you can imagine, not a big crowd. If you are a fan sitting at home watching or listening to this game in the air-conditioned comfort of your own house, you have the right idea.
Yeah, certainly. A very hot day, but a bit of cooler weather should be on the way in the area.
Stepping in to get things started here is the second baseman for Harrisonburg, Carlos Marte.
Marte comes in with the highest average on the season for this team, up at 300. 15 for 50 so far, and he's played in 18 of their now 20 games.
The first pitch is fouled off to the right as Jacob Haney pitching from the stretch to get it started here.
Yeah, a bit unusual to see a starter go from the stretch, more of a reliever type thing to just go straight from the stretch. But Haney doing what he feels comfortable, works basically from the middle of the rubber.
And with the 11 innings without an earned run, you get to do what you want.
Yeah, 100%.
There's the 0-1 pitch from Haney. That one catches the outside corner, and quickly Marte is behind 0-2.
And you can see with that pitch right there, I mean, why he's been so effective this season, putting that fastball right where he wants it on the low outside corner. Really not much a hitter's going to do with that pitch, even a good hitter here like Marte.
Haney is set. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Marte checks the swing. They appeal down to first. No swing. Count goes to 1-2.
Almost looked like he went around there, but good job of checking his swing, and really good job so far early from Haney of mixing up his pitches. Had Marte completely fooled on a nice little breaking ball there. Haney has been good at getting strikeouts so far this season, too. 15 of them in 11 innings.
The 1-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Got a ball down in the dirt, and that's the first out for the Tom Sox tonight.
Once again, going back to the well, back to the breaking ball. You fooled him once with it, and then you got him again. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, and really good job there. That one also really nowhere near the strike zone, kind of a 58-footer, but got him to chase out of his shoes, and I'll bring up Clay Lockett.
So Lockett steps in. He's the shortstop here, wearing number 1.
So the Turks kind of struggled a bit offensively at 220. Lockett down below that. He's at 218 for the season so far.
He takes the first pitch on the corner again for strike 1, and Haney's out in front quickly.
Lockett, one of the few players, him and Conor Hartigan, who's also in the lineup, to play in all 20 games so far for Harrisonburg.
The 0-1 pitch bounces in the dirt. Count goes even at a ball and a strike.
One home run as well for Lockett on the season, but he has struck out 18 times in 55 at-bats. So a trend that we've seen a lot just in baseball in general, more and more strikeouts, and Lockett kind of bit by the strikeout bug.
The 1-1 pitch is bounced to short. A nice short hop pickup. And he makes the play to first for the second out of the inning.
Yeah, real good play over there by Cam Guidry. The Georgia Bulldog just switched his number before the game from 29 to 4, so rocking the new jersey, but same glove and same nice play. We've seen him kind of bounce around the Tom Sox infield so far this season. We've seen him at third, short, second, and there makes a nice play at short.
I imagine the lower number will make him more aerodynamic,
yeah,
more
I think
agile,
that's
a
how
little
it
less
works,
weight
yeah.
on your back on a
Yep.
hot day.
That's
good.
what the football wide receivers are thinking too,
It's
now
a
that
good
they
call.
can be the low numbers.
Yeah. Now here's Michael Rosario, the left fielder, stepping in with 2 outs. He swings at the first pitch and misses. The count goes 0-1.
Rosario, another one of the solid Turks hitters. Only a handful of guys up over 200 for him. He's up second on the team in batting at 286.
Haney is set. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. That one outside and away. Count goes even at a ball and a strike.
Turks, a team that don't hit a ton of home runs, only 10 of them on the season. They play in a very spacious ballpark, though, at James Madison. Obviously, usually metal bats there, so tougher to get it out with wood. But Rosario, 2 home runs for him so far this season.
The 1-1 pitch is popped up to center field. Candelaria rolling over. He won't get it. This one's off the fence. And Rosario is going to roll into second standing up with a 2-out double.
Yeah, and that's just a great piece of hitting there. Not trying to do too much with the ball. Hitting it where it's pitched and going the other way to left center field, splitting the outfielders for his second double of the season.
The designated hitter, Logan Neely, comes to the plate now with 2 outs and a runner in scoring position for the Turks.
McNeely technically leads the team in batting as he's up at 353, but does not have enough at-bats to qualify, as he just recently got to the team, only 17 at-bats. This is only his 7th game, but 6 hits, 4 of them have been doubles so far, so great guy to have up. Also 5 RBIs on the season.
The first pitch is on the way, and that one is kind of a bleeder down the right field line and just foul. So Haney will be on top of the count, 0-1.
Yeah, he just came to the team 6 days ago after winning the D2 National Championship at Wingate. A couple other guys, Michael Dansky and Matt Caleri, also coming with McNeely from Wingate after taking home the D2 title. It's kind of a difference that we see on the Tom Sox. You know, you look at them right now, they got a bunch of Power 5 guys around the infield and then D2 guy at the dish.
Oh, the 0-1 pitch is up and in, and it clips Logan McNeely, so he'll jog down to first base. I think that one just got away. It looked like a breaking pitch that didn't quite break the way it was supposed to, and got Neely on the shoulder. So now the Turks have runners at first and second with 2 outs, and that'll bring Conor Hartigan to the plate. Conor's the right fielder for the Turks.
Hartigan, the other guy in the lineup that's played in every game so far for Harrisonburg.
And the first pitch on the way to Hartigan, he swings and misses. And the count goes 0-1. I believe Haney's been out in front of just about every batter this inning, coming in with that first pitch strike and establishing that fastball.
Yeah, doing a real good job of just working ahead, and he only has, I think, 3 walks so far this season in the 11 2/3 that he's pitched, so really not messing around, just going right at these hitters.
There's the 0-1 to Hartigan. He checks his swing. No swing this time, and the count goes even at 1-1.
As for Hartigan, he had a great season at James Madison, so he plays on his home turf for the Turks. Hit .364 with 24 RBIs in only 27 games, so all CAA second team.
He's got a chance to do a little damage here with a runner on second base for the Turks. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. He swings and misses at a change of speed, and he falls behind a ball and 2 strikes.
He's had a bit more rough go of it so far in the Valley League. He's down at 219 for the season, but does have 3 home runs, which is tied for the team lead. 12 RBIs, and big one sitting out there at second base. We mentioned that the Tom Sox were able to jump out early last night and kind of hold that lead for the entire game. A chance for the Turks to do so tonight.
Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way. A curveball stays up. Count goes even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Probably the worst pitch that Haney's thrown so far today, but he did elevate it, so we'll see if they try to just blow the fastball by him like they did on the first pitch, or if they use that change of eyesight to go back to something soft in the dirt here.
He comes set. The 2-2 is on the way. A check swing. And the count goes full at 3-2, and with 2 outs, the runners will be going here on the pitch.
He tried to go with something soft there, but just missed off the outside edge. It was a really good pitch, but that sets up an opportunity here where a ball in the gap has a real good chance of scoring 2 runs.
The outfield playing straight up on Hartigan right here, as is the infield. And now we'll take a break as the catcher, Langford, goes out to talk to the pitcher. Get their signals straight, get on the same page.
I've kind of touched on this in other broadcasts, but it's one of the things about summer ball is all these guys come from different schools, and, you know, Langford from Florida, and then on the mound, Haney from William and Mary, guys that really don't play together at all. And it's tough, especially for a battery, to kind of get on the same page, get the signs right. So you'll see better safe than sorry here in the first inning go, especially 3-2, 2 outs. Make sure you get this pitch right, you got the sequence right, especially with a runner on second since you're flashing multiple signs behind the dish.
So the count's full. There's 2 outs. Haney comes set. Payoff pitch is on the way. It's inside, but he checks his swing, but apparently he goes around. Home plate umpire rings him up, and that's 3 outs. So the Turks leave 2 runners on. They get a hit and a hit batter, but score no runs as we go into the bottom of the first inning with no score here at Crutchfield Park. Now we're back here for the bottom of the first. The Tom Sox are going to start things off with Garrick Ebel, Cole Foster, and Trevor Candelaria here in the bottom of the first. We've got a little merciful cloud cover right now that's probably cooling things off a little bit. Other than the heat, it is a gorgeous night here in Charlottesville. The Turks out on defense right now are wearing their navy blue jerseys with white pants, blue caps. The Tom Sox with their home lime fluorescent green jerseys with the blue sleeves and the white pants. Garrick Ebel's getting ready to step in. We got a brief pause here. And now we're ready to go. The Harrison Turks pitcher Jackson Denny's is on the mound. What can you tell us about Denny's?
Yeah, so Denny's, he goes to Notre Dame, one of the Fighting Irish up there, and
his first pitch catches the outside corner for strike one.
didn't get too much playing time in college this season, only threw 3 innings and had a 15 ERA, but since coming to the Turks has pitched a little bit more, 2 appearances so far.
And that pitch is up just a little bit. Count goes to 2-0.
5 1/3 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, only one of which was earned, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts. And he last pitched against Staunton on the 23rd of June. Went 3 innings, 2 hits, 1 run. It was earned, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts in those 3 innings. So settling in a little bit more in his last appearance. But this is his first start of the season.
Denny's brings the 2-0 pitch. That one's way outside. The count goes 3-0. Gary Gebell, the hitter here, has been doing a good deal of catching for the Tom Sox, but he's at third base tonight.
Yeah, he's at third base last night, too, after he started the game behind the plate, made the transition to third base. And
the 3-0 pitch finds the plate. He swings and hits one to short. It's gobbled up by Lockett, who throws across to Sweeney for the first out of the inning.
yeah, so what I was going to say was he moved over to third base and made a beautiful diving catch on a line drive. Absolute bullet hit right to him and a sprawling snag. But on top of that great play, he also made a very bad throwing error. Threw it about 15 feet over the first baseman's head on what was a routine ground ball. So there were highs and there were lows of his time at third base, but gets another crack tonight.
Cole Foster stepping in here with 1 out. We're in the bottom of the first. If you just joined us, no score. Jackson Denny's also pitching out of the stretch to get things started tonight. He comes set at the belt. And the first pitch to Cole Foster is down and out, a little in the dirt for ball 1.
Foster, the switch hitter, batting left against the righty Denny's. And Foster, if there was a Mr. Tom Sock this season, he would probably get the nod for that award. He's out of Auburn, and he's played only Tom Sock to play so far in all 21 games.
He takes a swing at the second pitch, and now the count goes even at 1-1.
He's heating up a little bit. Last night had a couple of knocks, scored a run. 250 so far on the season. 19 for 76. Has the most at-bats on the team by 21 at-bats. He's also got 6 doubles, 5 RBIs, and a triple to his name.
The 1-1 pitch from Denny's is on the way. That one finds itself outside. Count goes to 2-1.
Foster has also found himself on the mound one time in what was a blowout loss in the second half of a doubleheader and gave up.
Position player pitching.
Yeah, he gave up one of the longest home runs I've seen here at Crutchfield Park this season.
A story he might not tell his kids about someday in the future.
Looked like he had a great time on the mound, though. He got a strikeout to end it and threw his glove and was yelling and celebrating with his teammates.
The 2-1 pitch is way high. The count goes to 3-1 now to Cole Foster as he'll get something to swing at here, presumably.
Denny's here kind of struggling to find the strike zone a little bit, and I'm not sure that he's too comfortable with the mound. His first warm-up pitch, he actually slipped and fell and then worked on the mound a little bit, but 6 balls to only 2 strikes so far.
The 3-1 is popped up high in the air and drifting foul and out of play to the left. There are a few fans who have started to line the field. We have some folks up there on the hill tonight watching the game. And a few fans down the third base line on the grassy hill enjoying this nice balmy night here in Charlottesville.
Yeah, and everybody here enjoying the game. Free admission, courtesy Carter Bank and Trust all season at these Charlottesville Tom Sox games. You can get in completely free.
And what's better than free baseball?
Nothing. You know, you
don't
go to a
think
baseball game and it goes to extras, and everybody's like, "Oh, great, free baseball." Well, here it doesn't even have to go to extras. All
every
9 are
inning is
free.
free baseball. Here's the 3-2 pitch with one out. It's outside, and that's going to be a walk to Cole Foster. He'll trot down to first base. And he sets the table for the number 3 hitter, Trevor Candelaria, playing center field tonight. Candelaria has had a pretty good start to the season this year.
Yeah, he's at 236 so far on the season. It's kind of been an up and down stretch for him, but the highlight so far of his season has got to be the walk-off double that he hit back on June 17th. Put one all the way out to the warning track. He also hit a long home run against Stanton at Stanton, so he's piecing together a nice season, the Davidson product.
First pitch on the way to Candelaria, and Denny's paints the corner for strike 1.
Going back to the Gary Ebel at-bat to lead things off, though, he swung 3 balls and no strikes and hit a routine ground ball to short, and then Foster came up and wound up working a walk. So
Quick throw over to first base. Foster dives back in safe.
interesting to see the leadoff hitter of the entire game swinging 3 balls and no strikes.
I suppose if the strategy coming in is to be aggressive off the start, you don't know that the starting pitcher is going to have trouble with control, but then to go 3-0 and to get the green light on that 3-0, not something you see a lot, particularly this early in a game.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, usually 3-0 it's take all the way, but especially to lead off an inning and much more to lead off a game. So surprising there, and then Foster working the count a little bit too, as Foster is really in Denny's head right now. 2 pickoff throws, and now he just stepped off.
So then he's struggling to find a rhythm, struggling to find a little bit of control here. He's ahead right now 0-1, but he throws that one to the backstop, and Cole Foster's going to just jog down to second base on the wild pitch. And so now Candelaria has a possible RBI out there on second base with 1 out.
If he can drive him in, he would reach double-digit RBIs on the season. He would be only the second Tom Sock to do so. The aforementioned Gary Gebell is the only one who sits at 10 RBIs so far this season.
So then he's trying to settle in. He gets set here on the mound. The glove at the belt. He looks in, checks back to second, throws the 1-1 pitch, and it's popped up high in the air just beyond the infield. The first baseman, Sweeney, backs up. But the ball drops in between 3 converging fielders. Candelaria will be safe at first. Cole Foster, who had to hold up and wait, will wind up at third base. And that one's going to be scored a hit. No one really touched it, but just some miscommunication. And 3 fielders who seemed a little bit confused about where the ball was and who was going to take charge.
Yeah, you figure the high sky might have a little bit something to do with it. There's a big gray dark cloud over left field, but kind of out there in right field, there's a white cloud overhead and clear blue sky. So that high sky might have come into effect. And also, you know, we kind of touched on it in the first inning, but just the chemistry between these guys. Not too much chemistry between guys that play from different schools, and maybe a lack of communication there.
So with the runners on the corner now, the cleanup hitter Wyatt Langford steps in for the Tom Sox, and he takes the first pitch for a strike.
Langford so far this season has undoubtedly been the Tom Sox best hitter. This is his 15th game of the season, and he's up at 340. Couple of triples, a home run to dead central here. It was an absolute bomb.
The 0-1 pitch is a curveball on the outside corner, and he falls behind 0-2.
He's really been solid and only 6 strikeouts in 47 at-bats. It might be the most impressive statistic to his start of the season.
No balls, 2 strikes to Wyatt Langford, looking to do some damage here in the first inning for the Tom Sox, who have the Turks on the ropes right now with runners on the corners. Here comes the pitch. That one is down low. Count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, it looks like Mueller might have been able to sneak that one if he would have got his thumb underneath it and presented it properly, but let the ball get on him a little bit too quickly and kind of dropped his glove onto the ball. And looks like he acknowledged to the pitcher, Denny's, that, hey, I might have been able to steal that one for you.
No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. That one curves outside, and the count goes to 1-2. The infield playing fairly straight up on Langford right now. Third base cheating in just a little bit. The outfield shaded slightly to the right.
Langford did have another triple last night.
Here's the 2-2 pitch, and that one outside. So Denny working the outside of that plate, but unable to find the corner that he needs right now. The count's now full with one out. Cole Foster is at third base. Trevor Candelaria, the recipient of some miscommunication, standing down there at first. And here's the 3-2 pitch. That one is flied to right. The right fielder heading back, going back, turning, and now reaches out and makes the catch at right field. Foster will tag up and score. And the Tom Sox take a first inning 1-0 lead on the RBI sac fly by Wyatt Langford.
Nice job of hitting there by Wyatt Langford. Great job working the at-bat. Couple of good takes. Took that fastball on 0-2 that was just a little bit low, confident takes, and that's kind of what his season has been so far. When you're hitting at 340 through 15 games, I mean, you're confident at the plate, good confident take, and then really hit that ball well out to right field.
On a hot, dense, humid night, ball's probably not going to carry as far as it might on another night. There's really no wind blowing at all. So on any other night, that one may have found itself on the other side of the fence.
Yeah, Hartigan all the way back to the fence, crashed into it as he made the catch, but regardless, gets the RBI, and Candelaria stays at first.
And speaking of on the other side of the fence, here's the first baseman, Cal Stark, who put one on the other side of the fence last night, I believe, in Harrisonburg.
He did. Very long home run to left field, no doubt, off the bat.
He takes the first pitch for a strike. Then he seems to be living and dying on the outside edge of that plate right now. When he can find it, it's very effective, but he has struggled to bring that in and find that control early on here.
Yeah, it's interesting to see a pitcher live so exclusively outside, especially in a wood bat league, not challenge these guys with a fastball in the inner half.
And that one's outside, doesn't catch the plate, and the count goes to a ball and a strike. 2 outs now with Candelaria down at first base. This would be a moral victory for Denny's to work his way out of this inning with just a run.
That home run for Stark gave him the team lead. He was tied with a handful of players on the team, but he's now the only Tom Sock with multiple home runs this season.
And here's the 1-1 pitch inside. The count goes to 2-1. I imagine it's a little disheartening for these guys who play with aluminum bats in the college season to then start swinging the wood bat and realize that the ball just doesn't quite jump the way it does.
Yeah, 100%, especially for these Turks guys who are playing at a field at JMU that is designed for these aluminum bats. And then, it's so hard to put a ball out there. And here is not really a home run friendly park either.
The 2-1 pitch from Denny's is down. The count goes 3-1. Good hitters count with 2 outs for Cal Stark right now. He'll be looking for something over the plate that he can drive.
I'm sure the pitchers aren't too upset making the switch from aluminum to wood, though.
Yeah, nobody loves wood bat leagues more than the pitchers, I'm sure. And the 3-1 is flared down to left. It's fair up. Umpire signaling foul ball now. It looked like it was close to the line. He's closer to it than me, so I'll go with what he says. And there's a foul ball, and the count goes full, 3-2.
Yeah, I don't know. From our vantage point up here, it kind of looked fair and looked like Coach Corey Kohler was saying it was fair down at third base, but no real complaint from him after it was called foul. But there you see Denny's did try to challenge Stark on the inside edge. And
jammed him.
Yeah. Stark did a decent job of bringing in his hands inside and trying to turn on that ball, but really did not make great contact with it at all.
Well, now he's got a full count to work with 2 outs, and Candelaria will be taking off from first base on the pitch here.
Interesting that the first baseman is still holding him on over there, even though he's going to go big hole on the right side now for Stark.
There's the 3-2, and that one is flied to left field. The left fielder charging in on the shallow fly ball. That's Rosario who makes the catch for the 3rd out. And we've completed 1 inning of play here at Crutchfield Park. The score is your Tom Sox 1 and the Harrison Turks 0 as we move towards the 2nd inning. And we're back for inning number 2 here at Crutchfield Park. Tom Sox leading 1-0 as the Turks come to bat for the top of the second. They'll have Jordan Sweeney, Austin Mueller, and the center fielder Derek Chrome to start things off this inning. Jordan Sweeney steps in as Jacob Haney gets ready to start his second inning of work.
Sweeney up at 250 so far this season. This is his 19th game so far. 3 triples to his name and tied for the team lead, also 3 home runs.
Haney from the stretch. The first pitch is on the inside corner for strike 1. It was a nice bender that started inside and just broke over the inside half of that plate.
Sweeney's also second on the team in strikeouts, so he's punched out 24 times this season in just 60 at-bats. So over a third of the time that he's up at the dish, he's going down on strikes.
And the 0-1 pitch is up high to even the count at a ball and a strike. So he sounds like he's got that current major league pedigree of homer or strikeout.
Yeah, 100%. Second on the team in strikeouts and tied for first in long balls.
A ball and a strike, and the pitch from Haney is down in the dirt. The count goes 2-1 to Jordan Sweeney.
That's impressive, too, the 3 home runs, playing. Mentioned at that Eagle Field at Veterans Park, place is just so big for wood bats. So anytime a ball gets out of there, it's a bomb.
2 balls, 1 strike. The pitch is on the way. That one misses outside, and now a hitter's count for Jordan Sweeney at 3-1. And really, for the first time, Jacob Haney behind in the count and needing to throw a strike here. He's set at the belt. The 3-1 pitch comes in, and that one is inside. So he gives up his first walk this evening, does Jacob Haney, and the Turks will have a runner on to get this inning going as Austin Miller, the catcher, steps in. The left-handed hitter, wearing number 25 on his back, gets ready to bat.
Yeah, Austin Mueller, he's from Indiana University of Pennsylvania, Division II school in the PSAC conference. Used to play for the Tom Sox.
So he digs in here, a nice open stance with that front foot pointing down at first base. He waggles the bat over his left shoulder as Jacob Haney gets set. Here comes the pitch high and outside for ball 1.
Mueller struggling, having a tough season at the dish. He's at 161. It's going to be a mound visit. Try to settle Jacob Haney down a little bit, but Mueller 161 so far this season in 31 at-bats, only 5 hits, 1 double, 2 RBIs for him.
So it's a brief conference on the mound as the pitching coach tries to settle Haney down, as you said, maybe spotting a little overthrowing as he comes out jacked up for the second inning and losing mechanics a little bit and losing that rhythm that he had in the first.
Despite not really hitting the ball all too well so far this summer, Mueller is a valuable asset to have at the dish. He's a switch-hitting catcher, something that you don't see a whole heck of a lot of.
And the 1-0 pitch on the way to Mueller. He fouls that one straight back into the fence. The count goes even at a ball and a strike. Jordan Sweeney not taking too much of a lead down there at first base. Doesn't seem to be giving Haney a whole lot to worry about down there. Jacob Haney is set at the belt. Not even looking over at first base, and he comes with the 1-1 pitch, and that one misses. The count goes to 2-1 for Austin Mueller.
The Allentown, Pennsylvania native did have a solid season at IUP, though. Hit 304, 14 RBIs, 28 knocks on the season. So
it's quite the Pennsylvania contingency here. I'm flanked right now by 2 Pennsylvanians, 2 Penn Staters, I'm proud to say, as I myself am a product of Bucks County, Pennsylvania, so I feel right at home here.
I actually played baseball against Mueller a couple times in high school. I was on the same showcase team as him for a weekend. So
the count is 2-2 to Mueller right now. Nobody out. A runner on first. Haney turns and throws to first base, and Sweeney gets back easily.
Back in high school, Mueller was one of the premier catchers in the conference at Parkland.
The 2-2 pitch is on the way. That one is fouled off to the left.
Parkland's a perennial powerhouse in the Lehigh Valley. It's basically any sport.
My nieces go to Parkland.
Real big school.
2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Jordan Sweeney takes a moderate lead off first base as Haney sets. The 2-2 pitch on the way, outside, and the count goes full. So Haney, who seemed to have a pretty good grasp of the strike zone and decent control in the first, struggling a little bit now in the top of the second.
Yeah, just doesn't quite have that same touch, but credit here to Mueller. He's really working Haney, fouling off some tough pitches, and we mentioned, not stinging the ball, especially this season, but here piecing together a really nice at-bat.
The 3-2 pitch is popped up high and straight back this way towards the booth. If not for the roof, I'd have had that one easily.
No doubt in my mind you would have tracked that one down.
I was camped under it.
Mueller back after he graduated Parkland, played on the Lehigh Valley Carpenter Cup team, a showcase that the Phillies run.
So another 3-2 pitch on the way here from Haney. And that one bends right over the plate, a beautiful curveball that sets Mueller down for the first out of the inning.
That's one of the fun things about baseball. That's a great battle between pitcher and hitter, and Haney really settles himself down after kind of struggling to find control in the inning and wins the battle. So a great job by Haney there. Sometimes those long at-bats are ones that can really get to a pitcher, and Haney wins that one. And it's really important for him to do that, especially after walking the first guy.
The 8th hitter, Derek Crum, Harrisonburg's center fielder, steps in here now with 1 out and a runner at first. Another snap throw over to first base, and Sweeney's back easily. Haney trying to work his way through the bottom third now of the Turks order in the second inning.
Crum is at 167 on the season, no extra base hits, 1 RBI. He's 3 for 18 so far, so looking to pick things up here as he plays in his 10th game.
The first pitch to Crum is up for ball 1. It's an interesting thing, is as you mentioned, these guys all playing on different teams for different coaches and then coming together to play together in the Valley League. But in that bat like that last one also really kind of seals the idea that it's still baseball. It's still one guy trying to get another guy, and it's a simple game, and it's beautiful in that sense that it really just comes down to which guy's gonna blink.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, at the end of the day, it's really an individual game, and it's just a bunch of individuals performing well together. And so while the chemistry is certainly important, if you're going up there and you're getting a knock, it's how you win ball games.
It's 2-0 now to Derek Crum. As Haney comes set, tries to get back into the count, and he does as Crum fouls that one off down the left field side.
That one down near the Mission Barbecue truck that's parked out down the left field line. It's Military Appreciation Night here at Crutchfield Park.
I did not know that the Mission Barbecue truck was going to be here.
So if you hear me rocking an inning solo, you know where Trevor went.
If Zach is talking a lot, I'm getting barbecue. So Haney getting a new ball from the umpire. I imagine he's not being checked for sticky stuff at this point. Though, you never know.
Heard someone saying spider tack down there. Seen the MLB hand out a couple suspensions so far. The new rules being implemented.
So Crum's getting ready to step back in. I don't know if he had to get a new bat or goo up the old one, but he's back in now with a 2-1 count and 1 out, a runner down there at first base. And Jacob Haney gets set to deliver the 2-1 pitch, and it's on the way. That one curves onto the inside corner of the plate, and now the count goes even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, he's really had good command of his breaking ball tonight. His fastball's kind of eluded him so far here in this second inning, but that curveball's been there all game so far. He got a good strikeout of Marte on that breaking ball in the first, and he struck out Mueller looking here to get the first out of the second with another good curveball.
Haney with the 2-2 pitch. That one outside. The count goes full now again. And Haney racking up some pitches here with these deep counts in the second inning.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how long they let him go this being his 4th start of the season, if they extend his leash a little bit more. We saw Dylan Yanak go 5 the other night. He was the first pitcher to go 5 innings so far this season.
A 3-2 pitch now to Crum. He checks a swing. They appeal to the field umpire who says no swing, and now the Turks are going to have runners at first and second after the second walk of the inning by Haney. And that'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Frederick Walter, the third baseman.
And those appeals down to the base umpire are so difficult when you only got the 2-man umpire crew, because right now the field ump is positioned out there kind of in front of the second base bag, and it's tough for him to see. The other day we saw a lefty up to bat. He checked his swing. There was nobody on base, and they tried to appeal down to the umpire at first base. There's really nothing he can do about it.
First pitch on the way to Walter. He swings and misses for strike 1.
Nice
Speaking
fast.
of our umpiring crew, we have an ACC umpire crew tonight with Tony Carilli, the home plate umpire, and out in the field, Mike Gillespie. The count 0-1 now to Frederick Walter. Haney takes a look back at the runner at second and then brings the 0-1 pitch, and that one is popped up, foul down the right side towards the Tom Sox bullpen, and the count goes to 0-2.
Haney, this at-bat looks a lot more like the Haney that we saw in the first inning. Really good fastball on the first pitch, just blew the shutters off Frederick Walter, and then now up in the count 0-2.
Jordan Sweeney stands at second base. Derek Crum, the runner, at first. There's 1 out, an 0-2 count now on the number 9 hitter, Frederick Walter.
Walter, another guy that's been bitten by the strikeout bug, 21 of them so far in 44 at-bats.
And now the 0-2 pitch is on the way. He takes that one inside. The count goes 1 ball and 2 strikes.
So obviously, Haney would take a strikeout here. He'd probably prefer a double play to get him out of this inning, but Walter, a tough guy to double up, has yet to bounce into one so far in the season. It's at 205.
The shortstop Guidry is cheating over towards second base a little bit to keep that runner a little closer to the bag, and then he shifts back into the hole as the pitch comes in. That one's fouled off towards the Harrisonburg dugout. The count stays 1-2.
Despite being SEC foes, Guidry and Foster have got pretty good chemistry up the middle. They've played a lot of games together so far this season as the shortstop second base combo, and some kind of pairing, whether Foster's at short and Guidry's at second, or vice versa, like tonight where we have Guidry at short, Foster at second, but certainly a good duo over there to turn a double play.
A ball and 2 strikes to Frederick Walter. And he looks back at second, brings the pitch. That was fouled off into the screen behind. Count stays at 1-2. It seems this year that there is less turnover of the roster as the season goes on as there have been in years past, as teams are knocked out of the NCAA tournament, that players come in, other players go off. It seems like there's been a pretty stable lineup defensively and offensively for the Tom Sox this year.
Yeah, not too many guys really leaving, a couple here and there, but
that 1-2 pitch is bounced right back to the mound. Haney picks it up, lobs it over to first. The runners will move to second and third, but the Tom Sox get the second out of the inning here on the 1-3 putout.
Back to that point about roster turnover, there really hasn't been as much as you would typically see in a summer league. A lot of guys have been here the entire season. We mentioned Cole Foster has played in every game so far this season. We've seen a lot of the Tech guys be here for a good chunk of the season. The Georgia boys got here a couple games into the season, and they've really been inserted into the lineup and haven't left. We've seen Mackenzie Pate, Trevor Candelaria. They've been here all season. So really, guys, here from beginning to end.
And Carlos Marte, the leadoff hitter, comes back in now. He was a strikeout victim, his first at-bat, and he takes the first pitch of this at-bat on the corner for strike 1. The Turks now have runners in scoring position at second and third with 2 outs. Haney trying to keep it a 1-0 Tom Sox lead here in the top of the second.
Second inning was kind of the deciding inning last night when the Tom Sox erupted for 5 runs. 4 of them came with 2 outs in that inning.
The 0-1 pitch to Marte, a curveball that he fouls off back down towards the Tom Sox bullpen, and the count goes 0-2, and Haney's in the driver's seat here.
So Turks have a chance now to tackle on those 2 out runs in the second inning tonight, just like the Tom Sox did last night. 2 big runs sitting out there.
If they're going to do it, he's going to do it with 2 strikes, so he better shorten up on that bat and put the ball in play somewhere here. Everyone kind of shifting to the right, infield and outfield on the right-handed batting Marte. Here's the 0-2 pitch, and he fouls that one straight back into the backstop. Count remains 0-2.
Yeah, you don't typically see a ton of shifting here in the Valley League, at least early in the season, because the intel on a lot of the players is still out for discussion. But as we get later into the season, I'd imagine we'll see a bit more shifting. You see even Candelaria is probably 10 steps over into right center field.
And Ebel off the line, leaving plenty of room down the third base line for a right-handed hitter here, who is now down in the count 0-2. The pitch comes, he checks his swing, it's outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, I think this is probably the most significant shift we've seen the Tom Sox put on all season long. Guidry is only a couple steps to the left side of second base, and Foster is playing way off of second base over towards first at second base. So big gap in left center field and big hole down the third base line.
Haney's getting set for the 1-2 pitch here. He kicks and brings the pitch. It's down low, and the count will go even to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
It's the second time we have not seen Tony Carrilli give that low strike 3 call. We saw Mueller try to steal one back last inning, and now Langford trying to steal one there, but Carrilli not budging, and I think Haney kind of wanted that one. He thought he had him there. Looking to avoid giving up his first earned run of the season.
The 2-2 pitch on the way from Haney. That one's popped up into shallow right. The first baseman going back, and Stark goes back and makes the catch right on the right field line for the 3rd out. And Haney's scoreless inning streak continues. The Tom Sox are leading this one 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the 2nd inning here at Crutchfield Park. So we had a little extended break there between innings as Jackson Denny's, the Turks pitcher, was continuing to have some problems with the mound. Grounds crew, being the coaches, came out and with some turf dry and some dirt, filled up the hole that was on the mound now. But he seems ready to go now. As we go to the bottom of the second, and Garrett Spikes is getting ready to lead things off for the Tom Sox.
Spikes has been one of, if not the best hitter outside of Langford for the Tom Sox so far this season.
First pitch to him, he pops it up foul towards the parking lot on the left side for the first strike.
Georgia Bulldog at 267 so far through 13 games. 12 for 45, 3 doubles, a home run, 8 RBIs.
That is a good summer. Here's the 0-1 pitch. On the way to Spikes. He swings and he pops that one up on the infield, actually to center field. The center fielder comes in to handle that one. That's Crum making the catch out there for the first out. Despite the heat, festive atmosphere here at Crutchfield Park, as it always is in between innings. The army of Tom Sox interns are doing a little do-si-do to Cotton Eye Joe, getting the kids up and dancing.
Yeah, the promotions people, they really do a great job keeping the game lively in between innings as Logan Amos digs in.
First pitch to Logan, a miss. Is a strike down the middle.
Amos, unlike Spikes, bit of a rough go of it. He's at 143 in his stint as a Tom Sock. Just 4 for 28.
The 0-1 pitch is way outside. The count goes even at a ball and a strike. The cloud cover that has been kind of drifting over the ballpark is creating kind of an interesting shadow effect on the field right now where half of the infield is in sunlight, left field is shaded, the left side of the infield is in shadow right now, but some bright sun in right field. Not a great field for the right fielder right now. He's looking straight into that sun that's peeking through the clouds here. It's a ball and a strike now to Logan, a miss. And that one bounces down in the dirt and apparently hit Logan, a miss, who's trotting down to first base. So a hit batter from Denny's puts a Tom Sox runner on first here in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, and the shadow, it might make it even more difficult for the hitters is picking the ball up out of the pitcher's hand. There's a lot of light and dark in between and awkward shadow and awkward lighting. And this kind of happens here at Crutchfield Park every 7 o'clock start, and it'll kind of wither away as we get towards the 4th inning or so. Usually the lights take full effect.
The designated hitter, Adam Cesiri, into the box, left-handed batter with a runner on first base and 1 out right now. And first pitch is fouled straight back into the backstop. Adam Cesiri, a newcomer to the Tom Sox roster.
Yeah, Cesiri, only 1 at-bat for the Tom Sox so far this season, so not really a ton of action. He just got here. Cesiri is out of Wake Forest, college teammate of Pierce Bennett, who is off getting his driver's license, I believe, right now.
There's the 0-1 pitch on the way to Cesiri, and he fouls that one down the first base line. And the count is 0-2 now. He's getting his driver's license. He got time off from the game to get his driver's license.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty essential thing to get. And so that is why he has not gotten a ton of playing time lately, because he's been out of town.
Practicing driving. 0-2 count now on Cesiri. The runner at first, Logan, a miss, taking his lead. Now he dives back in as Denny's throws over. Denny's into the bottom of the Tom Sox order now. Cameron Guidry stands on deck as the number 9 hitter. Cesiri's mission now to get that runner to second base with the 0-2 count. He swings and fouls one back. Count remains 0-2.
It's interesting to see the Tom Sox have not yet tried to steal a base. They love to run. And Amos over there on first base, he's got 3 steals so far this season. But as a team, they've got 60. They rank right near the top of the entire league. Very aggressive
60
team,
60 steals in 25 games is astounding at any level of baseball.
They've only been caught 10 times, so very effective, too.
The 0-2 pitch on the way to Cesiri. He takes one in the dirt. It gets away from the catcher, who now throws down to second, but not in time to get a miss, who read the break perfectly and scoots down to second on the wild pitch.
That's just great base running right there. He saw the ball squeak out of Mueller's glove behind the plate and wasted absolutely no time in breaking for second. If he hesitates even a half second there, he's going to be thrown out, but no hesitation, makes the break and gets into second base, and now there's a runner in scoring position and one out.
A ball and 2 strikes. Dennis comes set, takes a look back at the runner at second base, now throws, and another pitch fouled off. Another 1-2 count wasted here. And we'll reset and do it again.
Siri, big lefty, 6'5", 235. Plays the outfield and first base. He's designated hitter tonight for Coach Kohler's squad. Very stark differences in the coaching.
The 1-2 pitch is a curveball that Cesari again just hacks off to the left to stay alive.
Over on the Tom Sox side, Coach Kohler is in his first season. Hasn't even been here for the entire season. And over on the Turks side, down at third base, Bob Weiss just won his 500th game the other day.
500 Valley League wins, and again, at any level of sports, any sport, at any level, 500 wins is a lot of wins. That's a testament to his commitment to the league and to his team. The 1-2 count with 1 out and a runner in scoring position. Denny's throw is inside. The count goes even 2-2. Cesari's having a really nice at-bat here. Just fouling off curveball after curveball, waiting for that fastball that he can drive somewhere. And he's working himself back into the count now.
Yeah, doing a great job of just battling. We've seen a couple players today put together some nice at-bats. You know, Mueller comes to mind. He worked a 3-2 count, but ultimately struck out. So we'll see what Cesari can do, too.
The 2-2 pitch finds itself outside by a good foot, and the count goes full 3-2 with 1 out.
A little bit more on just the coaches. Coach Kohler mentioned it's his first season. He's only 11-5. This is Weiss's 19th year in the Valley League.
That is impressive. So full count now. Curveball stroked to right field for a base hit. A miss is coming around third. He's being waved home, and the throw comes in, cut off by the second baseman. A miss scores, and the Tom Sox will go up 2-0 on an RBI single by Adam Cesari to put an exclamation point on a great at-bat.
A phenomenal at-bat, and he gets his first hit with the Tom Sox, first RBI. So he's got to be feeling good down there on first base as Cam Guidry comes up, and a great guy to turn the lineup over. A lot of speed out of the 9-hole here. The other Georgia Bulldog on the team.
On that hit by Cesari, the first baseman, Sweeney, was playing right on the line, and yet the second baseman was sort of pinched over towards the center of the field and left a really nice hole for Cesari to hit that ball through. The first pitch to Guidry is a strike. It's 0-1 now, still just 1 out.
Guidry, a guy that had a bit of a tough start at the beginning of the season, but has really heated up of late.
The pitch is outside, evens the count at a ball and a strike to Guidry.
Guidry's at 265 for the season. 13 for 49, but 412 in his last 5 games.
And clearly no easy outs anywhere in this Tom Sox lineup.
Yeah, up and down this lineup, just tons of talent. You know, a lot of teams in this league, it's, you know, you get some D1 guys, some D2 guys, but the way Jeff Burton recruits for this Tom Sox team, I mean, there were times this season where Tom Sox had an all-SEC infield, including the battery.
Guidry takes the 2-1 pitch for a strike. The count goes to 2-2 now. And we'll see if the Tom Sox can continue this 2-strike discipline that they have at the plate, where they've been doing a great job of fouling pitches off and keeping the ball in play, moving runners around. Adam Cesari, a short lead off first. Then he's come set. And the pitch bounces down in the dirt. And Cesari is going to jog to second base. Takes a turn at second base as Mueller picks up the ball and looks him back. So now another runner in scoring position on the wild pitch. And a 3-2 count for Guidry.
Yeah, that's a tough one there for Mueller. Looks like it was a fastball that found the dirt, but Mueller's got to do a better job of dropping to his knees and trying to get his body in front of that ball. He tried to stab at it with the backhand, and a lot of times when a catcher does try to stab at those balls in the dirt with the backhand, it skips away like that one just did. So got to try to get down and get that whole body in front of it. That's why you wear that big chest protector.
Denny steps off and asks for new signs. It seems they may be having a little difficulty getting on the same page. As he throws the 3-2 pitch, it's bounced a big hopper to short. Lockett throws to Sweeney for the out. Cesario moves up to third on the ground ball. And again, Tom Sox moving runners over, putting the ball in play with 2 strikes. It's a recipe for winning baseball.
Yeah, they're doing the little things right. They've already got a sacrifice fly today. No strikeouts the first time through the lineup, and a team that does strike out a good amount, doing a good job of battling and putting the ball in play.
Gary Gebell comes to the plate for his second at bat. He grounded out to short to start off the game last inning. And he'll now bat with a runner at third base. And again, Mueller with that backhand stab. This time he came up with the ball in the dirt. It's a 1-0 now to Ebel. Now the infield is straight up on Ebel as he takes the second pitch for a strike. Count is now 1-1. Outfield straight up, center fielder playing dead straight up the middle for Ebel.
Ebel 0 for 3 last night. He's been scuffling a bit lately.
Here's the 1-1 pitch. This one up and in. 2-1 now the count.
Over his last 5 games, he's at 167. And he's just 3 for his last 18. But all 3 of them have been doubles.
The 2-1 pitch over Ebel's head now. The count goes to 3-1. He had to duck out of the way of that one. And he's got a good hitter's count now with an RBI standing down there. Possible RBI standing down 90 feet away at third base. Shadows slowly moving towards right field. Still a tough sun field for the right fielder, but the shadows evening out here as we get into the early part of evening. Denny's delivers the 3-1 pitch to Ebel. That one is up and in again, and ball 4. Ebel will jog down to first base, putting runners at the corners for the Tom Sox here in the top of the second. Cole Foster comes up for his second at bat now. Foster drew a walk last inning, moved to second on the wild pitch, and eventually scored on Trevor Candelaria's RBI single to get things going for the Tom Sox. And now we'll take a little timeout as Turks manager comes to the mound to talk to Denny's a little bit, try to settle him down, get him back in the groove.
Hey, we think this is a good time to talk about Foster and just the season that he's been having. Last night, he's 2 for 5, scored a run. On the season, he leads the team in doubles. Defensively, he's been really solid too. Has been a part of 9 double plays, which also leads the team. So the kid out of Auburn kind of doing it all so far for the Tom Sox. And another guy that has been heating up a bit, 278 over his last 5 games, which is higher than his season mark of 250. 5 for his last 18, and cutting down on the strikeouts, which has been big for him. Only 2 strikeouts in his last 18 at-bats.
So with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second and Tom Sox runners on the corner, Denny's is ready now, and Cole Foster steps in for the at-bat.
And the Turks kind of putting that shift to the right side on Foster that we saw the Tom Sox go with earlier.
First pitch on the way is low in the dirt for ball 1.
Shortstop Lockett way up the middle, and third baseman Walter off the line. You got the center fielder Crum shading slightly towards right center. Definitely not as dramatic as Candelaria was last inning.
Shortstop playing close to the middle. Denny snaps the throw over to first. But Ebel is back in plenty of time. One and 0 count. 2 outs. Dennis is ready from the stretch snap throw to first base. Again, Ebel dives back in.
Foster is also top of everything else he's done, tied for the team lead with 4 multi-hit games so far this season. So just up and down. You look at what Foster's done. He's riding a 7-game on-base streak as well.
The 1-0 pitch catches the outside corner, and the count goes even at a ball and a strike.
Or rather, his longest on-base streak of the season was 7 games. My apologies. He just rekindled his on-base streak last night. Cam Guidry extended his on-base streak to 7 games, though.
One the count. 2 outs here. The pitch from Dennis is bounced foul down the right field line towards the Tom Sox dugout. The count goes to 1-2. Are the players aware, do you think, of their own stats? Is there a competition within the players on the roster, kind of a friendly competition against each other?
Yeah, I think probably a little bit, especially because this is a summer league where you come here mainly for personal reasons. Obviously, the goal is to win a team championship, but you come here specifically looking to work on a couple of things. So I'm sure there's some banter being had, and definitely the streaks. Guidry's on a 6-game hitting streak, so I'm sure, he says some stuff about that. Wyatt Langford, he's the only one with 2 triples. Cal Stark's the only one with 2 home runs. So these guys definitely talk to each other a little bit.
The 1-2 pitch is chopped up the middle. The shortstop, who was shaded over, grabs it and steps on second for the 3rd out of the inning. But the Tom Sox push another run on 2 hits and a hit batter. So we'll go to the 3rd inning with the Tom Sox leading this one over the Harrisonburg Turks by a score of 2-0.